All right, good morning. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hopefully everyone had a good night's rest or had a good day if you're in a different part of the world. Good morning, Alejandro. Good morning, Peter. Norsale. Good morning, General CJ. Good morning, Henster. Good morning, LB. Good morning, Alan. Good morning, Mig11. Good morning. So today, well, yesterday we had a huge run on GNLN into the after hour, not into the after hours, into the power hour yesterday. Crazy red to green at the end of the day. And hopefully, this can definitely stir up some momentum. However, there was an offering which caused the stock to drop from about $20. And then about 2 minutes later, all the way down to $11.37. So pretty nasty drop from that offering. But hopefully we can see some momentum in other names today and throughout the week. The bulls are definitely awake. So maybe we'll see something. We have a couple gappers here this morning. VEV, CXAI. Right now I'm looking at APLM. So we can take a look. We'll start from the top. VEV is the leading gapper, up about 98%. Okay, so it is a very cheap stock. Very cheap stock. Probably a little bit too cheap for me. 19 cents. It just gets to that point. It gets to that territory where it's just like, I'm going to be churning so many shares. And if I'm not making money, I'm just going to be digging myself into the red just through the fees. It's just a little bit too cheap for me. So VEV, I don't see any news on it. I probably won't trade this one unless it gets up to like 25, 30 cents, maybe 40 cents. Maybe closer to 50 cents, just because when it's just too cheap like this, I'm just churning so many shares. So like, it's like you gotta take 20,000 shares, and then like the fees just add up too much. What's up, Skull? Welcome in. So VEV, not really, a little bit too cheap for me, but it is the leading gapper. Unless it could be APLM. I'm not sure why APLM. Yeah, APLM is also 100% gap, but it's not on my scanner. So either it could be my scanner doesn't scan for under 50 cents maybe. No, there is no limit for 50 cents. So APLM, the float must be big. Yeah, so the reason why it's not on my scan is because the float is 90 million. But I will watch it since it is a cheaper stock, because so it offsets the 90 million share float a little bit. This one about maybe 15 cents higher than VEV, so I feel like I could probably work with this one a little bit more. I mean, 15 cents from 20 to 35, that's what, that's like a 75% increase in price. So I could probably work with this one a little bit more. 20 cents is just a little bit too cheap. 33, it just makes it a little bit better. It's a little bit more range, and maybe it'll be able to easier offset those fees that will accumulate. You ever trade micro futures? No, I've never traded micro futures. We have not. So APLM, 90 million share float, 33 cents a share. Trading higher after the company announced preliminary data and 43% response rate for its phase 2 Sparta trial for vebrelnitinib, some drug that I can't pronounce. Solid tumor drug candidate. Okay, so it's a phase 2 trial of a drug for the tumor drug. So cancer, it's kind of like Cancer Catalyst, I guess. Could be. So yeah, phase 2 could be pretty decent. 90 million share float, cheaper stock. holding highs here, or holding up, relatively pretty well, which is good. I can probably get rid of some of these trend lines here. It's really respecting this support. Really respecting that support there. So maybe we see something on APLM as far as higher time frame charts. It is pretty ugly, rough backside, but maybe we'll see something over towards, I guess, it's really kind of, there's no really like obvious level. Maybe here is more significant, since it kind of tested this area 1, 2, 3, 4 times before breaking down, and then it came up to retest it and rejected. So maybe this could be a good level here, right around 54, 55. Could be a decent target. After that, maybe a 70s, maybe 70 up here, because we have support, breakdown, resistance, kind of resistance. It went a little bit above, but we couldn't hold above, and then resistance again, and then fading. So that's kind of like my rough sketch there with my levels. But who knows? If this is the one, then maybe we can see at least conservative target would be 50 cents. Cristobal is watching CXAI today. Yeah, I can take a look at CXAI. I know it has something to do with Google. Google Catalyst is pretty good. I like that. It was after hours, and there was only about 3 minutes of front side. 3 minutes off of that news, and then the rest was just chop and consolidation for overnight and into pre-market. Maybe we see another surge in volume at some point. So let's see here. Let's take a look at the catalyst exactly. So XCAPS shares, which is the company, trading higher. The company announced a deal with a multi-year agreement with Google Cloud. Google Cloud, obviously everybody knows what Google is. So whenever a small company has a partnership agreement contract with a bigger company that's well known, it's usually pretty decent. It's definitely something I'm going to want to keep on watch. Multi-million-dollar AI agreement with Google Cloud. Those keywords are important. Multi-million, AI, Google Cloud. Very good keywords. I feel like a lot of algos are going to be on this. And maybe that's the reason why we had such a quick front side on CXAI, just from algos kind of picking it up. But yeah, I'm quite concerned why it didn't kind of continue higher. So when does momentum ever get into this, or is it kind of just gonna chop around? But yeah, it's quite concerning that with this kind of catalyst, we haven't seen like a sustained front side move. But hopefully we can see something at the open. A little bit of an ascending support there. Maybe we want to see a break over this kind of range. 260, maybe over like 269, 268, somewhere in there. Break over this pivot, then again we'll have a level. This is a weird candle here. Kind of just spiked up there at 295. We can get back over that level, and then we have 313. On the larger time frame, okay, so it looks like this here is the after hours high. Okay, so that perfectly coincides with this whole daily level here. So previous resistance, previous support, breaking down. It coincides perfectly with that with that kind of inflection point. If we can break over that, then we're looking to 4. We're looking to 4. If we can break over 4, then maybe kind of start reclaiming this candle. 5 up to 550. But that's very optimistic. It does have the catalyst though. Decent catalyst. It could definitely happen. I wouldn't write that off the table, but we got to see at the open. We got to get some massive volume. This has to be the center of attention. And it is a low float. The float, CXAI, 12.25 million shares. So pretty decent, pretty low. That's good. We've traded this one before too during, 2022? Yeah, this was 20, actually no, we traded this one in April. Nice move in April, 2 to 7. So it does have a history of making big moves. I wouldn't be surprised, especially kind of reversing off the low kind of pattern. Maybe there's some shorts that are stuck kind of covering here, fueling our move. And then again, we have that catalyst. What's moving here? What's this on my screen? AKTS, yeah. So AKTS, another one, kind of penny stock, but again, too cheap. 13 cents. 13 cents is just too cheap for me. Like, okay, we go from let's say we go to 13 to 20. It's like how many shares I gotta take, you know? And then if I'm just chopping around and if I'm not really making any money, the fees are gonna be too much. If this gets up to like 30 cents, then yeah, I'd be interested. But right now it's just too cheap. Do we even have news on AKTS? Trading hard, the company announced additional purchase order for $13 million filters. Okay, so looks like they got a purchase order for $13 million. It's pretty decent. It's not a bad catalyst, actually. It's not a bad catalyst, but it's still too cheap for me. CXA could be a chop fest. Yeah, the market has been very, very, very choppy. Morning APLM. I think this could see $1 past 180-day compliance. Can you find any talk of reverse split? No, I don't see anything about reverse split. But yeah, if it's going to want to comply with the NASDAQ rules, since it is on the NASDAQ, it's going to have to get over $1. Otherwise, they're going to have to do a reverse split. Yeah, GCTS. Yeah, I saw GCTS as well. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, so GCTS, pretty decent on earlier this morning. Had a bit of a 7 a.m. push, but couldn't hold up. Gave back pretty much the entire move there. Now kind of going sideways. On lower volume, volume is fading heavily here. Starting to get that kind of ping pong effect from low volume. So, I mean, it did look good. It does have a catalyst. It did look good this morning, but it's not looking good anymore as far as technicals. But it does have catalyst. With GCT Semiconductor partners with Samsung. Everybody knows what Samsung is, to advance 4 and 5G technology. So it's a pretty decent catalyst. As far as, just a quick look at the catalyst, it seems pretty decent, but, it's definitely a red flag that we dumped from 489 all the way down to 350. Maybe we'll get the reversal off the low, maybe a retest VWAP, but I doubt it's going to go all the way back up to 489. It's just giving back too much. So obviously it's possible, but I think the best trade possibly on this one could be the potential retest of VWAP and then the fade or chop around after that. But yeah, GCTS, this one was crazy back in April. I don't quite remember this one, but I know I remember hearing GCTS, but I didn't remember that this thing went from $10 to $55 a share. That's crazy. I do remember hearing about GCTS. I remember, but I don't remember like exactly the setups. All right, so next MKDW. This one kind of just, yeah. I mean, it didn't hold up at all. And there's no catalyst on it. So, yeah. Not the best. Not the best there. AKTS kind of pulling back here pretty heavily. APLM. Double bottom here off the 30. This is what I was looking for on this pullback. I was like, all right, well, maybe if we can get down here to 30, then we can bounce. But it kind of bounced off the higher low. Now we're breaking down. Now we're getting that double bottom here off the 29.30 level. I would like to see this hold, though. I definitely want to see this hold, because if it goes down any further, it starts to get into that territory where it's just too far off the high, where it's going to need some insane volume, insane strength if it ever wants to get back up there. So I want to see it hold 30. You know, at the open, maybe we chop around a little bit, but eventually I want to see that curl back up, squeeze out over this 30 level, 35 level. Because this is where likely the shorts are located, kind of in this area, higher end of this range. And if we can start testing that, then we could potentially see that nice pop up to the high at 39, and then hopefully that continuation. So as long as we don't fade, I just don't want this to fade like just a slow fade down to like 25, 24, 22. Then it's just like it gets to be like, you know, GCTS, where it just gave back so much that the chances of it ever getting back up is just lower and lower. All gappers are pennies this morning. Yeah, there's a couple pennies. There's mostly pennies today. VEV, another penny stock today. Yeah, we did look at VEV. So VEV, APLM, and AKTS, all penny stocks today. Then we have GCTS and CXAI as our kind of $1, $2, $3 stocks. I kind of do best between like say like 50 cents and like $5, or 50 cents and like to maybe $10. That's kind of like my sweet spot. CNTM holding around VWAP, low volume. If it can break 158, could get interesting. CNTM? I didn't see that on my scan. Yeah, volume is just rough here. Oof. Yeah, there's no really catalyst. The most recent catalyst here this morning was ranked number 104 on the Incorporated 5000. What is that? Number 4 on the prestigious Inc. 5000 list, which ranks as the fastest growing private companies in America. Yeah, I mean, it has nothing to do with really the company as far as like, you know, as far as like business or like development or anything like that. It's just kind of like a statistic. Oh wow, we ranked 104 on 5,000. Thing is, it's not gonna move on this. Like, it has nothing to do with the company. But what's even the float on this thing? Actually, it is on my scan. I do see it on my scan. It's a low volume though, very very low volume. Only 2 million since 4 a.m. 15 million share float. I mean, it hits all the it hits all the boxes here, but doesn't have like it doesn't have a good catalyst. But it doesn't mean it still can't move. Volume. I say the only thing it doesn't hit is the catalyst and the volume. Volume inconsistent, but it doesn't mean it still can't move. We have the let's see where the 200 EMA. Yeah, we're way, yeah. So it's a extended sell-off sort of pattern here. Wow, what happened here? What happened there? Back in July. Okay. It must have been So the news only goes back on Thinkorswim to the 16th of July. There's no information prior. Like, what is this? Is this a different ticker? Is this an acquisition company at this point? Back here, and then just ticker change to the real company. Not really sure what happened here, but I don't think this is relevant. Prior to the 16th of July, I don't think this is relevant, any of that. So I think the chart that we have to focus on is maybe from here. They get a little bit of a pop there. CNTM. This is definitely not on my main. This is definitely not on the high kind of list, the higher end of my list as far as the watch list today. My main watch. I'm gonna put an alert on it just in case. But but definitely not on my high end of the list here. I would say, oh man, APLM is just fading here. It's not good. APLM could be done. Maybe we'll get like some price action scalps on it, but it's not looking good here. Not looking good. Ideally, what we wanted to see for a good open would be a hold of this consolidation. Just consolidating, and then opens up at 34 cents, and then we get a nice either dip and rip or just the opening surge. So APLM, not the first on my list anymore. CXAI is my main watch here. We're holding support, consolidating sideways, which is good. Right around VWAP. Does have a catalyst. Has a low float, 12 million. Decent price, $2.50. So it checks all my boxes. And the technicals are good enough. We're still about 60 cents off the high, but I think we can work with it. I think it could be possible that we could see something. See if I can draw a more accurate trend line here. So let's stay calm, cool, and collected today. Let's stay disciplined. Let's follow our risk management. Today could be, there's no reason why today couldn't be a good day. I think there will be some opportunity. I'm hopeful. Always optimistic. Finally out of my 2-week drawdown. Man. That was rough, man. I didn't even go down that deep in a drawdown. It wasn't my biggest drawdown ever. Just like the lack of opportunity that I could capitalize on the past 2 weeks. Like it just took forever to kind of get back to the highs. So sitting at the all-time highs in my account, looking to just add on profits from here, not trying to get into another drawdown. The worst is when you get into a drawdown, you're like finally crawling back up. You finally get over that hump back to your all-time highs, and then just right back down to where you were in 1 or 2 days, and it's just like, holy crap, I gotta do this crap all over again. So hopefully, we can avoid that. hopefully we can avoid that and just add profits. Just add profits from here. It's looking green. We're looking green. So yeah, CXAI looks like we kind of broke down this little ascending resistance here, or ascending support here. I don't know. We'll wait for the one to show itself. I'll be patient. I'm sure we'll see something. So good luck. Drop that like on the way out. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys